Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Mark Marex, Product Development Specialist with Nasdaq Index Research, to highlight monthly performance across the Nasdaq Global Index Suite. Mark, welcome back to Trade Talks. And November was a spectacular month for stocks, with nearly every index on this first chart we're looking at showing double-digit gains.
Yeah, it really was, Jill. And, hard to think of a more momentous way to kind of close out the year with both the election and the vaccines kind of being in the rearview mirror now. We see the market looking forward to the end of this pandemic, maybe in the next 6 months. So not a surprise to see most stocks doing really well. Here we see the Nasdaq featured group of indexes on the left-hand side. The PHLX Gold and Silver Sector Index is the only one in the red for the month of November. On the right-hand side, we've got the Nasdaq Global Indexes. And what I'd like to point out is right at the top there, U.S. small cap, almost 20% up for the month. One of the best months ever for small caps in November. That kind of filtered down throughout the market, right? Mid caps doing well, large caps doing well too. But the big story, I think, for November was, okay, we've had tech, we've had large caps leading the market higher since March, since the lows of the year, to kind of lead us out of this pandemic. And now we're starting to see the actual recovery plays, broaden to encompass all the other members of the equity universe.
And Mark, if we move along here to the second chart, you're taking a look at thematic performance. What can you tell us here?
Yeah, so this is a pretty impressive lineup, what we've kind of cobbled together over the last several months and tried to redefine what the thematic universe is of indexes within NASDAQ. And the one that stands out here, right, is Clean Edge Green Energy. That's the second one from the top, up 34% for the month, having just an extraordinary year, up over 100%. That's an index that focuses, as the name implies, on green energy thematic related names. So you've got your Teslas and your Neos, your kind of electric vehicle makers, as well as some semiconductor firms, some chemicals firms in the lithium space, kind of a little bit of everything. Any firm that is either directly or indirectly supporting green energy is in that index. You'll notice several of the other top performing indexes are also in the green energy space. But this is pretty solid performance throughout. Even the kind of pure tech areas of thematics had a really, really good month as well. Not a single index in the red in this lineup.
All right, and to wrap up here, our final slide, also taking a look at thematics a bit.
Yeah, so this is just kind of our remaining NASDAQ Green Economy family on the left-hand side. Versus the commodity index family on the right-hand side. You can see, the big dichotomy, the tale of two cities sort of in terms of performance here. You did have a pretty nice recovery in crude oil in November. That's partly because, again, we're seeing the end of the pandemic in sight, maybe not as much demand destruction long-term for oil, but gold, silver, nat gas, all having pretty awful months. Copper and crude oil not doing too badly, but the story of the year has really been commodities have gotten crushed. Some are starting to recover, others continue to struggle. Green economy, ESG oriented areas like solar, like wind, any kind of renewables continue to have a banner year. They've been leading us out from the lows in March, and they continue to really just kind of lead the market higher. So we're very happy to see that.
All right, Mark, great stuff. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.